tremendous things. I expect them to play well. Winning championships is important. You know, we're wanting to fill up our room with championship trophies, and when you play in a bowl game, you play for a championship. And you know, we've been able to get a couple championships on our wall since we've been there, and with the state of Utah, and playing for the trophies that we play for against our rivals. It's important to us. Obviously, the WAC championship will go up there, but we don't have a bowl game trophy up there yet, and we need to be able to get that done. So it's a tremendous year for these kids. It'll be just one more step to a tremendous season if they have one more feather in their cap. But they've already got a lot of feathers in their cap in my mind.
Gary, what concerns you most about Toledo?
You know, the balance on offense is very good. They keep you off. They run with pace sometimes. They throw the ball down the field to quality young men that do a nice job when they get the ball in their hands. They run the ball very effectively. It's a very clean, physical run game, which you know, it's been productive week in and week out, obviously with the numbers that they have and the way they've played. So that's your worry on offense. Is just they're well balanced. Defensively, they blitz in abnormal situations, abnormal down distances, and they will also get takeaways and have big plays for them, and it'll turn into touchdowns a few times for them this year. And they've done a nice job of creating those turnovers and causing some issues, and they do by scheme and they do by athletic ability of their young men. And on special teams, I think they're very well coached. They do a lot to cause you to prepare. So good coaches, good football team, good players. So there's a lot to worry about.
Willie, when you go against a team that they talk about take shots and they live on a lot of these big plays, when you see in the film, what do you see of Toledo's receivers and how to get that done? How do they do it?
I mean, they definitely stretch it down the field. They got a nice receiver inside, slot receiver #1, and you know, he definitely stretches it, you know, and running posts and stuff like that. And then the outside #9, you know, he's a freshman. He's done really good this year too. And I've seen some double moves that they got on the outside quite a bit. But yeah, they definitely take chances, they take shots, and as a DB, you want the ball thrown in the air. So I mean, it's exciting, when I look at film, and of course you just see the opportunities, to make plays, and so I'm pretty excited about it. But they do stretch it, and of course they're balanced too, and so I think the main thing is stop the run, and then get them to throw the ball in the air, and then that's where of course I have fun, and but they're good.
And what do you see from their two quarterbacks?
Say it again. What
do you see from their two quarterbacks?
I watched a lot more on their lefty. He's more, dual threat quarterback and everything like that, which is, something that, you got to be aware about, and the fact that he can run. And, but he runs, pretty quick. I think it's after the first, few reads, he gets out, and he's a good quarterback. I mean, he's ran over, I think, 700 yards, stuff like that. And so it's definitely something you got to be aware about. But I think, our front seven, can contain him well, and otherwise, I think, it's going to be our defense versus our offense, and that's the game.
Any predictions for a 6th straight interception?
No. So they're short leash.
Kerwin, the question, the other side, looking at what do you see of Toledo's defense, which has given up points, but they've been tough to score against close to the goal line, and that kind of stuff. What do you see?
I see a defense that plays with high effort. They fly around to the ball, and they do that really well. I feel like the middle linebacker is definitely the heart and soul of their defense. Dan Moles, he's leading the NCAA in tackles right now. He's got 166, and I think that we have to account for him on every play. Their defensive line does a great job of funneling the run inside to the linebackers, and I think that we have to be aware of that. I think that we'll have to get out and be able to run on the perimeter, to kind of get them to back off and try to be aware that we're going to run it outside. And other than that, I just felt we have to execute. That's the main thing. We have to execute early and often. Start off fast in the first quarter, and then the third quarter after halftime. We haven't really executed as well as we wanted to coming out at halftime, and that's bitten us a couple of times. So I think that we definitely have to come out and execute in the second half in order to keep the offense pushing.
Here, you have a number of guys on your roster who've been on mission trips. Is that a challenge for you as a head coach, with guys floating in and out of the roster? How do you do it?
It's not a challenge. It's something I'm very used to. It's part of my life in coaching for many, many years is to have those kids within the program. We deem it as a huge positive. It brings maturity, it brings diversity, it brings a lot to your football program. And so it's very important to us, and it's one of the core recruiting factors that we have because of where we live and the environment that we're in. But I grew up in that. I watched Coach Edwards do it, I watched Coach Mack do it at BYU in Utah, and the successes that they've had. And so it's a big part of our program, and these kids mesh very well. I think we have 13 kids that are married now, and so that number keeps growing. But that's what happens once they get to 23, 24. They're gonna get married, except for Willie. He's not like that. So, but it's a big part of our program. Will always be.
So is this a pretty mature team compared to some others that you coached because of the age and the marriage?
Yeah, I think that goes up and down, back and forth. I don't think just because a kid's 21 years old, I've seen the most immature kids come back off missions and the most mature kids be 18 years old. Look at Chucky Keaton. He's a true freshman, and a year ago, and he's as mature as anybody on our football team. So, but I do think this team is a mature team. I think they have a lot of fun being around each other. And their toughness, their blue-collar work ethic that they have is very similar to what I think Toledo would be. Tough kids, love to be around each other. So those similarities there in this game, but that's who we are. But it's a mature crew this year, and they've handled a lot of situations themselves and fought through some tough times.
Coach or Kerwin, talk about the success that Kerwin's had this year as a running back, and the patience that he has shown as he sat behind guys like Robert Turbin and Michael Smith, if you would. Yeah.
Real quick, and then I'll let Kerwin answer that, but I have never been around more of a team player, more of an unselfish football player, person than Kerwin Williams. And it's not just on the football field, it's in everything he does every single day. And his leadership is unbelievable, the way he mentors the young kids in the program for the last 3 years. That just didn't happen when he was a senior. He's been doing that for 3 years, and a lot of education goes to our young players in our program because of Kerwin. But if you talk to him about as a football player, he came in here as a freshman and didn't redshirt. It was on this field when things weren't going real good for us one day against Boise State, who was a great football team that year, and they'd taken it to us pretty good. I think Kerwin ran for 150 or something like that. He had a great day as a young player, and his eyes when things weren't right, his mindset was, this is one game and we got a long ways to go. We got whooped pretty good today, but his fight kept going. That was my first time I looked at Kerwin and was like, this young man's something special, and it's done nothing but grow since then. Last year, it could have been easy for Kerwin to come in my office and sit down in front of me and say, Coach, why don't I get a red shirt? But he never did. And there was Michael and Turbin were there, and Kerwin. We had 3 great backs last year, and we were very fortunate for that. And they stayed healthy coming off injuries, but Kerwin knew that Michael had an injury that could be a problem at any moment, and so did Robert Turbin, obviously with his knee situation. So unselfish young man, tremendous kid. Get his degree, move on in life. If it's football, which I hope it is, and I think he deserves that opportunity, then great. But if it's not, somebody's going to make a really good decision when they hire that guy one day.
I think just the biggest thing with that situation was just to do everything you could to try to help the team get better. Whether it be small or or a big role. My role started out small, which I expected it to coming out of high school. I didn't expect to come in and start right away, but I did want to do everything I could to help contribute to the team. And it started on special teams, in which I feel like I learned a lot at. I feel like Coach Bush does a great job of getting everybody involved and getting that really shows what a team is. That's like the team's identity, which is special teams. And I feel like just having that opportunity as being so young, helped me a lot to develop as a player. And sitting behind 2 great backs like Robert Turbin and Michael Smith was also a learning experience as well. I feel like I learned how to be a better leader from both of them, both on the field and off the field, with the decisions that I make, and I'm thankful for that.
How do you game plan for 2 quarterbacks with no one to be named yet as a starter? Well,
the first thing you look at is, what does the offense do? It's not a drastic change within the offensive scheme, which again is a credit to good coaches and quality players that can adjust to the scheme. And I'm sure there's tweaks in their mind whether this guy's in there, but they're not unbelievably noticeable on film. So the preparation is not different for whichever quarterback ends up playing. They've both done good things. They've won games, and obviously they've been productive. So we haven't really changed for one quarterback versus another.
Will, another question for you. The coach, when he brought you in last year, I remember they mentioned to me they thought you could be a good player, and there was flashes. When did it click for you to finally be the kind of guy I think that they always thought you could be?
It was definitely in the off season, and I remember sitting down with Coach A, and he always told me that I didn't know what I had. I couldn't see what I have, and as a kid you don't understand it, but they're telling you something, and basically saying the potential's there, and he told me if he doesn't bring that out of me, then he feels he fails as a coach, and you don't want to disappoint your coach, and so that was huge, and and then I wanted to have a great spring ball, and I ended up dislocating my elbow, so I was out for that, and it was very disappointing, and my only chance was summer in camp. I really wanted to start bad. I wanted to have a great senior season. I just wanted to, I didn't want to go into my senior season and have another one like last year, and I just wanted to have an amazing season. But after sitting down the off season, just it really was just getting my mind right and trying to figure out something, and try to see what the coach is seeing in you, and of course not to disappoint Coach A. You want to make him happy, and so that's my goal, and everything just ended up being great this year. So.
Kerwin, obviously, Coach's name came up for a lot of jobs in the last couple of weeks. What was it like to be a player in the program going through that? And how important is it to this program that Coach Anderson's sticking around?
As a player, you look back and see when you care about a coach, you want them to make the best decision for them. Coach Anderson has a family, that he supports, and I feel like in the end, the decision is what's best for your family. So I don't think that any of us, how much we care about Coach A, I don't think any of us would have been mad at him at all for the decision that he made, because we know he made the decision that's best for him. At the same time, we understand that he's the most important cog in the works for this program. He's done an amazing thing here where he's turned the team around, and the way he's done it has just been great. He set the standard for us. He didn't change for us at all. He made us work to get to the point where we're at right now, and I think that we all wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Coach A. So I definitely think that it was tough. I know it was hard on him that he was going through it, but we're excited that he stayed for the young guys, and I feel like the only way is up for the team.
Kerwin and Will, both of you comment, what's the difference in Utah State's team this year at the bowl game than last year's team?
I think everyone's definitely more concentrated on what's going on right now. Last year was more, we're excited to be here, and I feel like that was a lot of feeling, just the fact that we got here. Everyone was just excited that, we were able to turn everything around, and we're excited. This year, I felt like we came into it that, we expect nothing less than to do that, and I feel like that's a testament to how hard we worked in the offseason. And, anything else, we felt like we would have failed not making it back to this point. Now we just got to pull it all together, pull all the pieces together, and get the win against a very good Toledo team.
Yeah, I think the big thing this year is just consistency. I feel like last year we were on a hot streak, and it was amazing. We were just riding in and coming to the game. Of course, we were excited to make a bowl game, and but at the same time, I think we just kind of figured a little bit more that we're on a hot streak, we're going to come and win it. And this year, every game, we've been on a hot streak as well right now, but you can seeing last year, we could lose it easily. So I think consistency is huge, and coming in each game knowing that every game's a big game. No matter what team you're facing, and that's one thing Coach A installs in us.
Coach, along that line, what do you think about maybe an advantage in this game, and what kind of advantage? Because you guys played in this bowl game last year. We're hearing Toledo's struggling to sell some tickets, and you've got fans here in the area, plus it's a short drive for all your fans that are down in Logan.
Yeah. Well, there's no question one of the huge positives that come to this bowl game is for our kids and our fans and the families of the players, Aggies from everywhere can get here. It's a great destination, so you know, it should be a home field advantage. The ticket sales are awesome. Our fans are awesome also. And the growth and the development of the program is, they're a big part of it. We've said it all along, and I truly believe this, that if you're going to change a culture in a football program, it takes a community, it takes an administration, it takes a university, it takes professors, you know, and there's a story to be told of each one of those groups of people outside of the players. And it's a great, they'll be excited to be here. Home field advantage is home field advantage, and hopefully we can take advantage of that, because I'm sure that you know, our fans are going to be here.
Will, this game has a history of coming down to the wire. Obviously, you were here last year, and you guys have played a lot of close games. Toledo's played a lot of close games. Any thought that this game won't be down decided maybe in the last 5 minutes of the game?
Oh yeah, I think it's gonna be a battle for sure. And you know, we've been in a lot of close games. You know, even last year and this year, and you know, we've lost some, we've won some, and so I think yeah, it's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be, you know, a battle. It's gonna be a close game. Just even the energy of, you know, when we got together and like bowling and stuff, you see they had a lot of energy, and so it's gonna be fun competition. And but yeah, I think that they're gonna give us everything they have. You know, they've come a long way, and you know, I think they want to come all this way and lose for sure. So I think it's gonna be definitely a good game. It probably can come down in the last 5 minutes. You know.
Coach, last year you, as we all recall, made a bet with your players where now you're obviously sporting a new tattoo. Anything new this year?
No, maybe the head coach grew up past that, or these guys did. But we had no bets this year. The wife probably kind of took care of that one too. So
You shake your head once.
one and done.
You shake your head once.
After the BYU game. Yeah, that was for the kicker.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was for Nick Diaz. If he made it, he got to do it. So yeah, that was good. So, but we'll definitely keep the hair low and nice and tight until after this game for sure. So it's been a little bit of a streak. So, but no, nothing like that. No new tattoos. So I'll leave that to the young bucks now. We good? Okay. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate you.
Thank you.